I want to talk about what the Democratic Party has done specifically to impede your ability for ballot access, because there's a full-throttled campaign to try to prevent access and to keep you guys off as a choice across the country.
So the Democratic Party has PACs and super PACs that fundraise for them. And they have been able to fundraise over $100 million. And what they do is that they have lawyers that are backed by the Democratic Party that go into court and basically fight off third parties for technicalities, right? Now, the reality is that if we were to have national regulations that are the same for each state, it would be easier. It would actually be more democratic that way. But each state has a different regulation in terms of the petitions that need to be submitted and the paperwork that needs to be submitted. And so the level of bureaucracy and technicality to it makes it very, very hard for third-party candidates and independent parties to get on the ballot as it is. In 2016, there was a Green Party injunction served to the state of Georgia to lower the standard from 50,000 signatures to 7,500 signatures as a whole. The Green Party won. And so that was a huge, huge win for grassroots movements, for organizations, for progressive people in general who would be able to have the option of voting Green Party. With us, in the petition process, we were able to get more than double the required signatures. So the required signatures are 7,500. We got over 17,000 signatures in the state of Georgia. This is an immense amount of time and energy devoted from volunteers who went out to do this work and get it within a very short amount of time. Paperwork was submitted. Everything that was required was placed in. The Democrats fought us because they wanted to go back to the laws that preceded the Green Party injunction of 2016. And they did. Now, what that meant was that each elector, 16, would have to get 7,500 signatures each. The equivalent of that is 120,000 signatures to get on the Georgia ballot. That is what they argued, and that is what they won with, that technicality. First, we won, and then when we took it to the higher court, then they withdrew and said, you can't be on the ballot. And so we will appear on the ballot because it's too late to take us off the ballot, but there's a disclaimer saying it won't count if you vote. And we have to understand this. It's impactful. It is infuriating. It is all disturbing, but it's part of a long history of voter suppression. And that's how we have to understand it. There were taxes, the poll taxes, to the literacy test, to the poll purges that are still happening. I mean, North Carolina saw a purge of voters of over 700,000. Over 700,000 voters were purged from the polls because they are considered inactive. Now, if you have voters that are inactive, you try to do your best to activate them. That's part of your task as a political organization, not to take them off the polls. And it's easier. And again, it goes into the voter suppression, which is a way of controlling and a way of suppressing people's ability to choose. And so I think it's important for us to see it in that context, because the fight is the fight for the expansion of democratic rights. The fight is one to be able to build popular democracy, a democracy that centers the interests and the needs of the people, and that is accessible to everyone, And so this fight is not simply a Party for Socialism and Liberation fight, is not a Green Party's fight, is a fight for all working class people, which constitute the majority of people in this country, to access our very democratic right to be able to vote.